All right. We're back. Well, some of you are back. Jonathan, Big Dollar, Triple A, Lovey Marie. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? We are to the point of the off season where new things just come out every single day because we have hit the point of boredom here in the offseason of the Cleveland Browns. And now the newest thing going around Cleveland is Sheduer Sanders is on the trade block, supposedly. I don't know. But the latest rumor is Sheduer Sanders could be traded. I tell you, we are in the dark days of the offseason. Lovey Marie, Cheryl is back. How are you doing? So if you didn't know, if you were asleep or if you took a nap, Tony Rizzo on his radio show said sources close to him are being told that the Browns are taking calls about trades for Sheduer Sanders. And I quote, I took a picture, a snap from Tony Rizzo's comments, ongoing calls about the availability of Sheduer Sanders. For whatever reason, they don't think he's the guy. That's my opinion. I'm sure they'll say, what are you talking about? He is in a quarterback battle, but I'm going to say right now for the record, I don't think the four quarterbacks are going to camp on July 28th. Nothing is imminent, but the calls are being made, and I think it's probably in the best interest of both parties here. So what do you think when you hear that from Mr. Rizzo himself, diehard Cleveland fan? He likes Sheduer Sanders, if you ever listened to his show or seen some of his clips. He also likes Deshaun Watson too. So what do you hear when you see that information? I tell you this. This is why I hate the offseason. Because there's nothing to talk about until camp comes out. So if you can squeeze any juice of news, you talk about it because there's nothing to do in the offseason. I told you last time we went live what was going to happen. We're going to talk about the variation of the quarterback competition, the variation of quarterbacks until training camp. And here we are. It was Brendan Sorsby last week. And now here we are talking about trading Sheduer Sanders this week because we have nothing else to talk about. This is what I believe is happening now. Does that mean I'm right? No. I could be totally wrong, and this could be real news, and maybe Sheduer Sanders gets traded next week. Maybe he gets traded tomorrow. I don't believe that's going to happen, but here we are. Let's go. Best thing that could happen for my boy. I think hearing static for... Oh, we have static? Oh, my God. Hold on. Lord Jesus. We were just fine. What about now? What about now? Is there still static? Because I can't hear myself, unfortunately. Do we still have static now? Please say no. Please say no. Do you still hear static? Please say no. Got time today. Why do you think that's the best thing that happened for Sheduer Sanders? Let me know. Do you still hear static? No. 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 Good. 130.25. Better no static. No, it's good. Why do you think that's the best thing to happen for Sheduer? And this is why I don't think it's going to happen. For the people that hate Sheduer Sanders, they don't like Sheduer Sanders, I'm going to use their argument against him now. Sheduer Sanders is a fifth-round pick, right? He was picked in the fifth round. What could you actually get for a fifth-round pick if you're Cleveland? Make it make sense. If you're going to trade Sheduer Sanders, what could you possibly get that is going to benefit you? Somebody tell me, what are you going to get for a fifth-round pick that makes you go, oh, yes, I want that right there. Yes, sign me up. He's a fifth-round pick. What could you actually get? I'm going to use that to my advantage now because everybody that doesn't like Sheduer Sanders, you know the first thing that they say to me? Oh, he's a fifth-round pick. He's no good. Why do we keep talking about this fifth-round pick? That's what everybody says to me about Sheduer Sanders. I say that he wasn't graded as a fifth-round pick. He slid because of not football reasons, but everybody throws that up in my face that they're saying that's not true. He's no good. So what are you going to get for a fifth round pick if you're going to trade him? You're not getting any first round picks. You're not getting any second round picks. You're not getting any third round picks. Maybe you get a fifth round pick. So let's just say the Browns get a fifth round pick for Sheduer Sanders. Is that really worth the risk of maybe a future franchise quarterback if he pans out this year, or a future starting quarterback in the NFL? Is that worth trading Sheduer Sanders when you don't even know what you have? He hasn't even played 17 games in the NFL. I don't think so. No, it's good, better now. 3 first rounders? What are you guys smoking? And can I have some? 3 first rounders. We didn't even get that for Myles Garrett. What are you guys smoking? And can I have some of it because I'm stressed out? 3 first rounders. Oh, I think my heart, I'm having a heart attack. I'm having a heart attack. 3 first rounders for Sheduer Sanders. Can I have some of that you're smoking? Josh Gordon wants some too. But I don't understand, what would the logic be in trading Sheduer Sanders at this point? He has been in a heated quarterback competition with Deshaun Watson, and now all of a sudden, out of the blink of an eye, you're going to trade Sheduer Sanders. That's why I think it's a bunch of smoke. It's a bunch of nonsense, in my humble opinion, because unlike the Myles Garrett situation, you're going to get something back in return that you can use for your future and for your present. With Sheduer Sanders, I don't think you're really going to get anything, in my humble opinion. Right, Jonathan? LOL. Great minds think alike. Django, we are back. So that is my opinion. I don't think he's going to get traded. I think it's a bunch of static. I think it's a bunch of bluff just to get the world talking, to get Browns reporters talking, Browns YouTubers talking, and it's actually working. Look, we are talking about Sheduer Sanders. And let's be honest. Let's have a conversation. Let's say Sheduer Sanders gets traded outside of Cleveland. Will anybody talk about Cleveland if Sheduer Sanders gets traded outside of Cleveland fans? Will the national media talk about Cleveland anymore? When Deshaun Watson, when he was a lightweight healthy, they talked about him a little bit, but the media doesn't like Deshaun Watson. Do you know when they start talking about Cleveland again? Is when Joe Flacco was the quarterback, because it was somebody they liked, right? With Deshaun Watson, low key, the media still doesn't like Deshaun Watson. They won't say it out loud, but I'm saying it for you. The media still doesn't like Deshaun Watson. They talk about Cleveland because of Sheduer Sanders. They talked about Cleveland again is because of Joe Flacco. They love the Joe Flacco story. But with Deshaun Watson, the media still doesn't like him. If they trade Sheduer Sanders, do you think they'll talk about Cleveland again outside of Cleveland? No, they will not. Hey, what happened to my 50th month jingle? What happened to your 50th month jingle? Sheduer ain't going nowhere. 130.25. Thank you for the $10 donation. Did I miss it? It might have been when I was unplugging my mic. There it is. 50 months. My goodness. My bad, AAA. I probably missed it when I was unplugging my Focusrite.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Appreciate you, AAA. Thank you for the $10 donation. Thank you for the 50 months.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
I wouldn't be surprised if Barry trades Sanders. I'm still on the fire Andrew Barry train. What up, Adam? I don't think they're going to trade Sheduer Sanders. I just don't see it happening. Sheduer Sanders, listen, I want to Google it. Hold on. I talked about this during the member stream about 25 minutes ago. Give me 1 second. I want to Google it. Sheduer Sanders earned $17.7 million last year in NFLPA group licensing and royalty payments during his rookie season, shattering the previous record held by Tom Brady. Think about that for a second. He made $17.7 million last year, and he was a fifth-round pick and played 7 games. So if you're the Cleveland Browns, break that down for a second. Break that down. He made that being a fifth-round pick, playing 7 games. You got to think about the business aspect of it, too, when it talks about trading Sheduer Sanders. Sheduer equals money. He is the only, now that Myles Garrett is bye-bye, he is the only player on this roster that equals dollar bills, ching-ching, equals ratings. You got to think about the business aspect of it too. He did that on his own, playing 7 games last year, shattering Tom Brady's record during a rookie season of $9.5 million. You got to think about the business aspect of it too. And you know Jimmy Haslam loves his money. That's another reason why I don't think Sheduer Sanders is going to be traded. He equals ratings, he equals money, and it gets the national media talking about the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson, Sheduer Sanders is the only reason right now people talk about Cleveland every single day. But that's just my humble opinion. Negative media members talking that trade Sheduer Sanders noise. What up, B Skrills? B Skrills, if you just came in, I think it's a bunch of baloney. I think it's a bunch of banarchy. I don't think he's going to get traded at all. I think it's a bunch of smoke and mirrors. But this is what happens, chat, when there's nothing to talk about during the offseason. How many ways can you say a quarterback competition for a month? How many ways can you spin it? You can spin it Deshaun Watson versus Sheduer. You can say Sheduer versus Deshaun. You can bring in Brendan Sorsby, and then you're out of topics. Now you can say, oh, they may trade Sheduer Sanders. Oh, my sources say, and we're going to talk about this a little in the next, Deshaun Watson is going to get the next 6 games, and we're going to parlay into that, and you guys tell me what you think about this. Chad Ochocinco, you guys may know him as Chad Johnson. You may know him from the Nightcap podcast with Shannon Sharp and ISO Joe. According to his sources, Deshaun Watson is going to start the first 6 games of the season. Book it. And then they're going to evaluate from there. And if it's not so good, they're going to roll with Sheduer Sanders, according to his sources. How much do you believe in that? Do you believe in Ochocinco? Do you believe for that to be true? Or do you think that is not correct? Let me know in the chat. Do you believe in that source? Or do you say baloney? We don't know yet. Thank you. Salute to you, Big Skrills. Haslam is not trading a player on a rookie deal. What up, TK? I read the Yahoo article. I wrote a whole response only to have a Yahoo account in order to complete my Dang, TK. Baloney. Because they're wasting breath on Brendan Sorsby, so what he has a gambling habit, somebody's going to take a chance on him. I believe somebody will too, B Skrills. I believe somebody will too. And the only reason why I bring up the gambling habit, B Skrills, is because I say this. I say this. I want everybody to keep the same energy. I bring it up because if you take Brendan Sorsby and you replace that name with Sheduer Sanders, do you know how many people would lose their minds if he was to do something like that? Or if it was Baker Mayfield, do you understand how many people would lose their minds if they were to do that type of thing? People would be ready to say they shouldn't even play football anymore. How could they do such a thing? So that's why I say no. This needs to be brought up when it comes to him betting on football. I don't want to just sweep it under the rug, because if it was one of these other quarterbacks that played for Cleveland, people will be ready to light them up. That's why I say we need to bring it up when it comes to him. I don't know. I like Ocho, but I think he might be off on this one. You know, it was bad when you got media members talking about Brandon Swordsby going to be worse than Emmanuel Chase or Clace. Ocho definitely knows something. Players in the locker room are talking. I wonder who his source is. Betting on his own team. Not a good thing when you bet on your own squad. Especially when you have the ability to affect the outcome. We talked about this last stream too. So I think you do have to keep that into consideration. Do I think a team will take a flyer on him? Sure. Do I want my team to take a flyer on him? Absolutely not. They're not trading Sheduer Sanders. They'll trade DG before SS. Does anybody want Dylan Gabriel, though? That is the question. Does anybody want Dylan Gabriel? That is the question. The only team I could think of is Atlanta because of Kevin Stefanski, but I don't know if there's any other team that would want Dylan Gabriel. They will start Deshaun Watson because of his final contract. However, if Sheduer outperforms him during training camp, they'll have no choice but to start him by week 3 or 4. I do like that comment. When it comes to Sheduer Sanders, listen, I'm not going to say it will be the worst mistake since signing Deshaun Watson, trading Sheduer Sanders, but it will be close. It will be very, very close. Trading Sheduer Sanders right now and not knowing what you have in that young man would be an absolute mistake. Letting him walk out of the building only playing 7 games. Because if you see him flourish with another franchise, this fan base would absolutely go bananas on Andrew Berry, Jimmy Haslam. You pick a person, they would go crazy, because you would not have let this young man have the chance to at least prove himself for one freaking season, and you let him walk out the door. And then you already have the debacle of the trade of Deshaun Watson. You mortgage your entire future and you got nothing but a stale bowl of oatmeal for Deshaun Watson that nobody ate. That's what you don't want if you are the Cleveland Browns. And that's why I don't think they're going to trade Sheduer Sanders. They're at least going to give him this year to see what he can do. DG will get released before they trade him. I feel the other NFL coaches value Monken's opinion when he said he has 2 NFL QB sharks in the water. That's a good point, TK. That's a good point. And that's why I always say they're not going to trade him. I believe Todd Monken, he liked Sheduer Sanders in Baltimore. And now he has him here. I don't think they're going to trade him. He wanted him in Baltimore. He likes Sheduer Sanders. That's why I don't think he's going anywhere. I listened to a guy today that says Deshaun is bad as he's ever been, and it's not close. He says he has seen every single throw. Was that Zach Jackson you're talking about, AAA? Talking about Zach Jackson. I did see a quote from Zach Jackson talking about Deshaun Watson when he said he's been the same since he's been here. He's been inaccurate. He's just bad. He's not any good. I'm talking about Deshaun Watson. Hit a like if you just got here, talking about Sheduer Sanders, talking about him, the possibility of him being traded. I call it smoke and mirrors. I call it of old baloney. But what do I know, right? I don't know much about anything, but that's just my opinion. That is just what I believe. It doesn't mean I'm right, chat. It's just my opinion. And it looks like I'm dropping frames. Am I buffering? YouTube say I'm dropping frames. Am I buffering, ladies and gentlemen? If I am, I apologize. It was Zach Jackson? Okay. Yes, I did see that. I did see that. And I keep telling people this. When it comes to Deshaun Watson, Do not believe anything you see until game time. Sometimes you're going in and out. Something is not right. Yeah, it said I'm dropping frames for some reason. So we may have to end the stream shortly, unfortunately. It's just not my day. It's not my day to stream, I guess. It says I'm dropping frames. On my OBS studio and YouTube says I'm dropping frames. So I may have to go ahead and end this stream. Zach Jackson opinion is sketchy. I'm not just basically going off Zach Jackson, no, TK. I'm going off me. I'm going off me, TK, when it comes to Deshaun Watson. I'm going off me, and from what I've seen every snap of his Cleveland football career, and I've seen enough of Deshaun Watson. I have seen enough, and I don't want to see any more. I am buffering. So that's going to be it. I'm going to have to get off here because I don't want you guys to get a terrible experience. That was in response to that. Oh, okay, TK, I got you. Thank you, Big Dollar, for the donation.
Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
I'm good. Awesome. To Big Dollar C. I want to do a poll real fast before I get off here. I do want to do a poll real fast. A simple yes or no question. Do you think quick poll? Go ahead and complete the poll before we get off here. Do you believe Sheduer Sanders will be traded before training camp? You already know my answers. What up, Mike? How you doing? You already know my answer to the question. YouTube wouldn't let you get on. What up? What up, Lanisa? What up, Lanisha? I think that a lot of people of Sheduer, I think a lot of people Sheduer being developed by Todd Monken. %, say no. I don't believe Sheduer will be traded. Who said yes? What exactly would? He gone? I don't think he'll be traded. I am willing to put my left kidney on the line that he will not be traded. That's how confident I am. If training camp started tomorrow, I don't think this would be a story. But since training camp starts next month, there's not a lot of other stuff you can talk about in Cleveland world. So now you have bought yourself at least 2 more weeks of things to talk about. You can talk about this for 2 more weeks, ladies and gentlemen. You have 2 more weeks you have bought of content to talk about if you're Cleveland. And then you're going to have to make up something else. He gone. We know he hasn't won at Sheduer. He ain't going nowhere. Okay, Mike, which one is it, Mike? You just said he's gone and now he's not going anywhere. Which one is it, Mike? What would you get in the trade for Sanders? 4th, 5th round pick. Cool Breeze thinks like me. If you watch this on demand, I said this about maybe 15 minutes ago. What do you get if you trade him? Huh? Everybody said he's a 5th round pick. He's no good. He's sorry. That's what they kept saying. The people that don't like Sheduer Sanders. He's a 5th round pick. He is terrible. He has no ability. That's why he slid to the 5th round. So what are you going to get in a trade for him? A 5th round pick? You might as well keep him and see what he can do. So that's another reason why I don't think he's going to be traded. That would be the absolute dumbest trade, to get another 5th round pick instead of seeing the upside that you could have for Sheduer Sanders. No team with the right mind is going to give you anything higher than a 5th round pick. He was drafted in the 5th round. He's only played 7 games. So it'll be a stupid trade anyways. He's a 5th round pick. I'm going to use that to my advantage now. You cool? What if we don't know your answer? Take an educated guess. Haslam is the owner. He ain't going nowhere. We don't adjust. He doesn't need to go anywhere. Oh, one more thing. It doesn't say it's bad quality now, so I'm going to stay on for a little bit. It says I'm in good quality now. There was also something out there about Nick Chubb maybe coming back to Cleveland. You know, another rumor out there. I don't want nothing to do with Sorsby either. Listen, I keep telling people this. Listen. When it comes to Cleveland, another thing I can't stand when it comes to being a Cleveland fan is Cleveland's answer to everything is bring in another quarterback. I don't understand. I just don't get it. Bring in another. How many NFL snaps has Brendan, whatever his name is, Sorsby took it in the NFL? How many snaps? So why do we think he's going to be better than Deshaun Watson and Sheduer Sanders? Why do we think that? He's not going to be better than them right now. Why waste capital on Brendan Sorsby? Just wait till next year if a quarterback is the route you want to go. Oh my God. Our infatuation with the newest shiny toy makes me just want to throw myself into a lake of alligators. I don't understand it. From Drew Allard to Ty Simpson to Arch Manning to Dante Moore they weren't even think about getting out of college yet, to Mendoza. You pick a quarterback to pick one. Jalen Monroe. We just want a quarterback to save our life. Can we let the ones that we have develop first? We just like the newest shiny toy. Let's just go get him. It irks my entire soul. Sheduer slam Sorsby head to head. We brought that up last stream. Sheduer is about to be the next Dak as far as draft first career position. Trade Zarquai, Barry, and Dillon. Fun size Gabriel. Sheduer slammed Sorsby head to head Cincinnati. He did. He wasn't even better than him in college. Some people are also afraid that a lot of the reasons why they don't like him, football reasons, are being developed out of him. That's a good point. You know, I will say this about Sheduer Sanders. Compared to Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, in my humble opinion, there's no going up for him, right? There's no going up for him at all. I don't see a scenario where Deshaun Watson can get better this year. I don't see a scenario where he can get, where we go, okay, let's bring him back next year. I don't see a scenario for Deshaun Watson where we go, yeah, let's sign him again. Let's give him more money. I don't think there's a fan in Cleveland that wants to give Deshaun Watson more money. Let's extend Deshaun Watson because he looked great for 13 out of 17 games. Let's give him more money. I think a fan would rather eat a stale fruit roll-up for 7 days straight than give Deshaun Watson more money. I don't think that would ever happen. There is nothing that Deshaun can show a Cleveland Brown fan that goes, let's extend him some more. Sheduer Sanders, on the other hand, he can only go up from here. It was just said, they're working with Sheduer. His footwork's getting better. He's processing faster. It only can go up from here. So why not see what you got? Why not see what he can do? And that's why I don't think, and it would be very stupid to trade Sheduer Sanders. It's not because I'm waving Sheduer Sanders pom-poms. If you have seen me throughout my time here, I have almost waved pom-poms for every single quarterback that has lined up and took snaps for the Cleveland Browns. I have waved pom-poms for every single freaking quarterback that has suited up for the Browns. From Joe Flacco to Deshaun Watson to PJ Walker to DTR. No matter who it was, to Baker Mayfield, I have wanted to see them succeed. So I just wanted to see. So why not give Sheduer Sanders a chance? Now, I will say this. Besides Baker Mayfield, I think he is the only one that has the combined merchandise, money-making, star power, and can be a franchise quarterback. He's the only one that I see can be both. Besides Baker, I can see Sheduer doing that. The rest of them, I didn't see them being able to do both. Sell merchandise, star power, and be a franchise quarterback. I think Sheduer has the chance to be that if given the chance. Heck, he already showed last year he could do the merchandise part. $17.7 million, fifth round quarterback, backup. So we'll have to wait and see. You wave pom-poms for all your dogs, for all our dogs. Facts, forced to vote in a poll. I want Trinidad Chambliss in Cleveland. See, we just want new quarterbacks. We just want new quarterbacks. And that $17 million was his portion. The amount he made the Browns was over $200 million. Thank you for the facts. That was his portion. So that's what I'm saying. Give him a chance to be an actual quarterback. That's why I'm saying Baker was the only other one. Give him a chance to be a quarterback now. He wasn't given that chance yet. He was only given 7 games, right? Only given 7 games and 7 weeks of first round reps. Now you'll have to see. Do you want jersey sales or wins? I want both, Cool Breeze. I want both. That's what I want. You know why? Because that is the sign of a franchise quarterback. Ones that can do both. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. Those are franchise superstar quarterbacks, the ones that can do both. And that's what I want. I want my cake, and I want to eat it too. I want a franchise quarterback that can do both. And I think Sheduer has the chance to be able to do that. But he has to be able to have the chance to prove it on the field. I want who can do both. Sell me jerseys and win me games. Can you do me both? Give me a chance. I don't think Deshaun Watson can give me that. That's why I don't want to see him. Dak is what an old Sanders would look like. The difference is Sheduer wants to be here and wants to play in Cleveland. He wants to win, he wants to be here. He wants to be great. Trade DW4. Nobody would take DW4. Tiki on pause. Nobody will take DW4. Listen, if you had truth serum to Cleveland, right? If you had truth serum to the Cleveland Browns, hit the like when you come in. If you had truth serum to the Cleveland Browns and they said, who would you rather trade? Deshaun Watson or Sheduer Sanders? I believe 90% would say Deshaun Watson, but they know nobody's going to take him. Not one soul will take Deshaun Watson because nobody wants to pay Deshaun Watson. What do you mean Dak is what an old Sanders would look like? Dak is what an old... So when Sheduer gets old, you're saying he'll be Dak? Is that what you mean, Kid Brown? Proud 66? When Dak gets older, when Sheduer gets older, he's going to be Dak? I think that's what you're saying. When you read comments, try to talk and think at the same time, it gets rough out here. I'm just going to say, AB, if you're going to trade the best DE in the NFL history, you better get the offense right. And AAA, I know you didn't see the stream last week. I'm just saying that we brought that up in case other people didn't see the stream. I know you didn't see it. I'm buffering again. All right. Well, we're about to get off here anyways. Since I'm buffering again, I want to a decade wasted. I just want to thank everybody for coming out today. Hit that like if you haven't already. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you, Big Dollar C. Thank you, AAA. And thank you, Miss Wade, for your donations and for helping us hit our donation goal. Who knows what we'll be talking about on our next live? Because, hey, who knows what rumor will come out next for our Cleveland Browns. But until next time, you guys know the drill. We're going to end our poll, and 85% of you do not think Sheduer will be traded, and 15% of you think he will. 26 of you voted. Until next time, it's all love. Peace.